Thanks for tuning in to Hannah Grace Yoga. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thanks for coming back to my channel. I greatly appreciate you. Today's practice, we are going to focus on the low back. Some stretches I'm going to teach you to help relieve some of that low back pain. I know a lot of us struggle with low back pain, whether you're working a lot, carrying heavy things, bad posture. A lot of things can conclude to this low back pain. So go ahead and meet me on your mat. Tune in and we are going to go ahead and relieve this low back pain.
Alrighty, we are going to start in Shavasana in our corpse pose, everybody's most favorite pose of all time. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable on your mat. Once you're there, start to survey your body. Figure out where that pain is coming from. Try your best to isolate that spot. Bring all your awareness, all your breath to that area in your back. As you rest here, just be aware of your body, be aware of how you're feeling. Go ahead and bring your attention inward, focus on that natural breath. Go ahead and start to point the toes as you lift those arms up and over your head, coming into a pencil stretch as that small of the back lifts off the ground. You're stretching in either direction as far as you can. Allow your body to be as long as it possibly can be here. Slowly bringing those hands back down by the side, bending those knees, and slowly pulling the knees into the chest just a little bit, grabbing each knee with each hand. Once you have that connection of hand to knee, go ahead and start to slowly rock those knees in some circles, starting to massage that low back. As we find some variations of our knees to chest pose here in Apanasana. Maybe you switch the direction of your circle at this time, seeing how that feels on the low back. Perhaps you hug the legs in tighter. So pull them in as tight as you can and then loosen the grip, allowing them to extend just a little bit. Perhaps you keep going in the circles. This time, go ahead and pull them into your chest as deep as you can. For me, that means the forearms wrap around my shins, but you do whatever that means for you. Pull those knees in as close as you can and rock side to side. Once again, just massaging those muscles surrounding the spinal column. Go ahead and slowly start to use your momentum to rock up to a seated position. Should be a little more cautious than myself here, kind of lost control. Try to be nice and slow here as you rock all the way up to Sukhasana, the pose of ease. So make yourself with ease here, make yourself comfortable, relax the hands on the knees. Go ahead and start to just take some shoulder rolls here, bringing them up close to the ears, down the back. Warming up through the shoulders, through our upper back. Go ahead and make sure that those hands are still on the knees. As you take a big inhale, push your chest forwards, head looks back, arching through the spine. Exhale as your spine tilts back, chin tucks to chest, find a seated cat pose. Inhale, finding seated cow. So we're just switching the direction here of our spine. Exhale, you find that seated cat pose. Inhale, seated cow. Exhale, seated cat. Go ahead and transition into an all fours pose, tabletop pose. Once you're there, we're going to find some cat cows here on our forearms here. Go ahead and just round through the spine, taking a few moments, making these breaths and movements as deep and as dramatic as possible. Go ahead and find a neutral spine position as you bring that left foot up to the left hand. Once you're there, rise up onto the knees, interlace those hands on that front thigh as you push forward. Now, I know this might seem a little odd as we do a runner's lunge, but we're tapping into the psoas, which starts on the right side of the hip, wraps around the external hip and into the low back. So if you have any low back pain here, this could be a great pose to help relieve that. Maybe you want to rock side to side like I'm doing here. Relax your hands to the earth. As you just push deep, send those hips forward. Let's go ahead and let that leg step back. As we step up that opposite leg up to the outside of the hand, come up to a kneeling position. When you're ready, interlace those hands on the front thigh and send the hips forward. Coming into as deep of a runner's lunge here as you can. This time we're stretching out that psoas on the left side. Starting at the front of the hip, the very tip of the thigh, wrapping around the outside of the hip, connecting to the low back. So try your best to massage into this pose. Relax the low back. Let's step back to all fours. From here, curl all the toes underneath you, hips go up to the sky for down dog. Keep your knees as bent as you need here for comfort. This isn't about our legs, it's about our back. Want our legs to be comfortable, stepping those legs up to your hands into a forward fold. Bending those knees so much that the torso is going to lay on the thighs. Once again, we don't want any pressure in those thighs, since it's not what this is about. We're focusing on the back. Let's go ahead and come into a ragdoll pose. So opposite hand, grab the opposite elbow as you start to sway side to side. So allow your neck to fall heavy. Allow the torso to rest on those thighs as you sway left to right. Continue swaying or find stillness in ragdoll, whichever feels better on the back. Remember to focus back on your breath as your breath is flowing through your body. Send prana, send life to your body. Go ahead and place the hands on the floor. The knees come back to the mat, back into our all fours pose. As you cross the ankles over each other, sit down. Go ahead and transition back to the back of your body, coming all the way down to your mat, letting the entire back side of the body meet the earth. Once you're there, we're going to bring the feet wide, the knees together. Go ahead and stretch the hands up overhead. So we're going to start to play with the hips here. Try to let them alternate. So on your inhale, bring the navel into the spine, lift the hips towards your face. Exhale, you're going to lift the small of the back off the earth, belly button push towards the ceiling, and roll those hips down towards the ground. I know this may look a little bit awkward, but it feels great on the back if you can just practice those same movements that we did in cat-cow. This time we're just on the floor. Having that support on your back makes you a little bit more aware of those feelings that you might be having there. Go ahead and pull the knees into the chest, cross the right ankle over the left. Reach forward and grab those feet and pull the legs towards you. This should start to tap into the back side of the hips, once again connecting to the small of the back. If it feels good for you here, you can start to rock side to side. Rocking side to side is always one of my favorite things when I'm on my back here, as I truly feel that just helps. The weight of the floor really helps massage out those muscles. Go ahead and cross the legs. This time that left ankle comes over the right. Hug the legs in close. Being aware if this side feels any different than the other side. Seeing if crossing those legs puts a different area of pressure onto your back, different area of relief. From here, we're going to go ahead and allow both knees to fall over to our right side. Arms can be up in a goalpost position, so elbows are about 90-degree angle, allowing that left hip of yours to pop off the earth. Knees are falling heavy. Go ahead and really feel that twist, through your spine. Go ahead and come back to the center, now allowing your knees to fall over to the opposite side. This time that right hip is lifting high. As you feel that twist starting at the base of your spine and the tailbone, all the way up through each vertebrae, coming to the base of the head. Go ahead and bring the knees back to center. As you pull the knees into knees to chest pose, once again, this time transitioning into happy baby. So each hand of yours is going to grab the outside edge of the feet, pulling those legs down so the tops of the thighs are about parallel to the earth. The tops of the feet are looking towards the ceiling. Sometimes in this pose too, it feels good to rock side to side. As you can see here, I'm rocking a little bit more front to back because that was what was feeling good at my back in the moment. However, this is just about you, so go ahead and take the movements that you need to relieve that back pain, that back tension that you might have. Coming back to stillness in our happy baby pose, really working on pulling those legs towards you. Let's go ahead and come back to knees to chest with those hands around the knees as you rock yourself all the way back up to a seated position. Maybe you might find a little bit more grace here this second time rocking up. Use this momentum, use this motion to rock out through the spine. And we're going to transition onto a sitting pose on our knees. Go ahead and bring those hips down towards the heels. Hands relax down. We're going to come into a child's pose. So relaxing the forehead on the top of the mat. Hands are down by the feet. Palms shining up or down, whichever is more comfortable on your shoulders. Take a few breaths here. Start to surrender that pain. as you grab the ankles with each of the hands, tucking the chin to the chest more dramatically so the crown of the head comes to the floor. Hips lift high for rabbit pose. This is going to stretch out the top side of your back. Take a few moments here. When you're ready, set the hips back to the heels, back to child's pose. This time the forehead is now resting on the earth. Slowly rising up into a seated position as we're just going to play with our spine here a little bit, rocking forward dramatically, letting the head fall, rocking back, allowing the head to fall back. You just start to take a worm shape through your spine. Maybe the hands rest on the thighs to allow for extra support. Just allowing any of that tension to relieve. Go ahead and find stillness when you are done. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any feedback, as always, I'd love to hear. Leave a comment down below. Right here you see all my social media info if you want to see me anywhere else. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do so you don't ever miss another video of mine. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much.